Yeah, man. So overstanding the whole concept of what's being broken down, the science of hypocrisy cubed. You know, just the simple fact of how black women, so many black women, and how if you're familiar with my videos, how I talk about the forbidden fruit, and us biting into the forbidden fruit continuously, biting into the forbidden fruit of Western culture and the image that America portrays of us. The gangster on the TV is forbidden fruit. The thug and the image that they allow to be portrayed, they propagandize, is the forbidden fruit. You know, just and the whole thing is to make people think that it's by choice, and to think that it's some kind of will of some kind of will of independency that has brought them thus far, of their individual, you know, struggle and trials and tribulations, as if, really separating their struggle from everybody else, and having them in the illusion that, oh, I'm the only one going through this shit. I went through this, and everybody's going through it. So just the whole way that they have, sold us this image of being independent to women, and think like a man to women. When if you understand the statistics that over 50% of the nation's prison population is black men, over 50%, and over 60% of black women are single. Over 60% of black women are single, and over 50% of the prisons and jails in America are with black men. These numbers totally correlate with each other. And so for black women to sit around talking about independent, being independent, as if it's their choice, as if it was their choice, that's the whole biting into the fruit. That's the whole, robot clone savagery that they have placed on us, and the image that they have put on us for us to buy into. you know for so many black women to think that being independent was their choice. Just as this whole think like a man thing, the whole think like a man thing, man, just based on history. If you just look back at history, women didn't get rights until the 1920s. I want y'all to marinate on that. Women didn't get rights until the 1920s. This means white women, the white man's wife, mother, sister, what I'm saying, niece, all that, didn't get rights till the 1920s. Thousands and thousands of women, white women, were burnt at the stake. This is outside of black history. This is on a whole nother level from black history, because we know what our women went through and still are going through. But damn it, we're talking about white women. You know what I'm saying? Shit, white women didn't get rights until the 1920s, dude. You know what I'm saying? In here, fast forward to damn 2014, in these last several years, you got whole fucking movies and series out called Think Like a Man. Clearly, anything is possible. Clearly, anything is truly possible on this planet. Clearly. Any mental illness is possible here. Yes. And that is, just hypocrisy cubed. Hypocrisy cubed. And this is what happens when you don't understand history and you don't know history. Because with the whole, and it's interesting because women finally got their rights in the 1920s, but in the around 1960s, around that time, because that was the main reason that the civil rights movement came to a screeching halt, is because our women left us with the whole women's rights movement, and it was really a COINTELPRO program, to make the women's rights movement. It was a whole conspiracy to do that, just to take the women out of the black liberation and the civil rights movement. You understand? And this is exactly what has happened, and we've basically been a part of it since then. And just when you look at public housing, and black men don't get black men don't get the chance to have their own, public housing, or their own, Section 8 or whatever. They don't have that chance. The only free housing for black men is jail. You got free lights, water, and food there. You know what I'm saying? That's public housing for the black man. And they got the projects for the women outside. But they don't understand that that's still jail for them, laying up with 3, 4 kids, and you ain't got your man. But the real key is to understand that black women have really been educated to, really throw the man under the bus all the way in society. It's like, hey, I just need this nigga to make the babies, because I can have the government take care of this. I can always, every baby is $300 a head a month type shit. It's the type of math that they have ingrained in us, and it has become savagery. And it's so interesting because the whole science to it, where they don't allow no black men in these public housing homes, regardless if he is the father of the children, the father of all 5 kids. A black man still can't, a man still can't be in the house. I've seen so many times where the social worker come and brother be like, shit, boy, goddamn, they gotta get on. And it's so interesting because the system would actually implement this in its laws and make it a part of its requirements. But then, they'll come on the news and they'll be like, oh, ain't no black fathers in the home, the black fatherless child and shit. The black fatherless child. See? And this what I am. This is just the sickest. It's really just the sickest. And hypocrisy cube. So, like I'm saying, man, the same way that you got all these women talking about, independency and think like a man, clearly anything on the planet is possible, and anything in human history is possible. There's no other ethnic group of women who talk about being independent, who take a so-called pride in being alone, because being independent is subconsciously saying, I want to be alone. I'm alone. I like being alone. It's my choice to be alone. And it's really thrown love out the door. Women have really, everybody, not just women, but everybody has thrown love out the door. And when we throw love out the door, it creates instant separation. You know what I'm saying? And this is exactly what you have in the African American community in particular. And so many things that apply to us apply to the world, because we're an international people. We're not just black people. Black people represent the majority of colored people on the planet. You know what I'm saying? So, the things that we discuss, ultimately, go for the rest of the planet, and the general struggle of the planet. Because, see, that's why, you always hear people say, shit, boy, you'll be surprised. You go to Africa, them folks don't like Africa, them folks don't like America, them folks don't like black folks from America. Africans talking about how Africans don't like black people in America. But the whole thing is, shit, they really have a good reason to not like us, because we have gotten all high and mighty, and, you got all these Negroes around here because they wearing Gucci and Versace and shit, that they think that they better than our brothers and sisters back home and shit like that, and even to the point that shit, truth be told, that's really just a stereotype, because many Africans in Africa still love us, but the thing is, we don't love ourselves no more. You know what I'm saying? See, once we lost love for ourselves, everybody else did. And where we lost love for ourselves is when they killed Dr. King and when they killed Brother X. You know what I'm saying? Because we stopped fighting and we stopped doing what we was doing. And the main thing that we don't understand is, the whole world was watching us, man. The whole world was watching us, and the whole world admired the way that we fought the beast. You know what I'm saying? This is real shit. The whole world admired that. So once our leaders ended up getting taken down, we stopped fighting, and that's when the world began to lose respect for us. That's when our children began to lose respect for us, and that's when we just began to lose respect for each other. You know what I'm saying? Just makes sense, man. Just makes sense. So, once we gave up that fight, is when Africans in Africa really started not liking Negroes, because Negroes became all uppity, and, you know, niggas became a part of the white man's structure, dog. You know what I'm saying? And it's really, you know, the main thing, you know, I was talking to my partner about this the other day, is, you know, wrestling. You know, the WWF really showed you this relationship, because, you know, I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with wrestling, but back in the day, you know, before The Rock really became The Rock, he was with the Nation of Domination. You know, and peep the terms, the Nation of Domination. You know, and this is around the time that Vince McMahon and them start calling themselves the Corporation. You know, for all of my wrestling fans, I know y'all remember this shit, bro. You know, but now it really just bam. You know what I'm saying? Now, just the eye blasting on it, you know, and they started calling themselves the Corporation. And you listen to the theme music of the Corporation, you know, they were saying, no chance, you know, no chance in hell, you got this shit right here, you know. And if you really go on YouTube and listen to the lyrics of that shit, you'll be like, man, you know, they were really saying, they would do, you know, this was that shit, you know, this that shit, you know. But they called themselves the Corporation, and it was going against the Nation of Domination, you know, and The Rock was in the Nation of Domination, you know, Rocky Maivia, you know, and you know, somehow, you know, The Rock ended up, you know, just leaving the nation, and he just became his own entity or whatever, you know, rocking his Louis and Gucci, you know, rocking his material shit, and he forgot about the whole Nation of Domination, you know. So it was a whole message that's being sent, you know, the Corporation taking over black people, this Nation of Domination, you know, and them losing their pride and selling out and becoming pimps and Versace villains, you know, which was what The Rock became, damn Versace villain, basically. You know what I'm saying? And this is the propaganda that they're playing out in front of you. And see, a lot of people don't realize that, bro, wrestling is just as big as football, damn near. You know, wrestling in America is just as big as the NFL, damn near. You know, and you know, once you understand the messages being sent, you know, and when you look at politics, you know, it's clear that politics gets much of its script and concept from wrestling, because you got, you know, just like Jesse Ventura was breaking it down. Hell, Jesse Ventura is an ex-wrestler, became a governor. You know, and he was breaking it down. He really said, yeah, politics is just like wrestling. You know, you got these guys coming out here acting like they don't like each other, but really, hell, they all go to dinner together. You know what I'm saying? It's all for a whole nother purpose. But, you know, the script and the whole message that they were sending us through the Nation of Domination and Rocky Maivia in the Corporation, you know, and the black man selling himself out, you know, and the nation becoming extinct, as a result, you know, exactly what you got in America. You know, The Rock was the black man, whatever, you know, selling himself out for the nation. The nation became extinct. I mean, the Nation of Domination really ended up just disappearing, and they didn't fall off because they lost a match. You know, Farouk, I don't remember Farouk losing the match and then leaving wrestling. It's like the nation just became extinct. You know, so the messages being sent that have always been sent. You know, and that's basically the message from the NFL. Ray Rice, Adrian Peterson, niggers or whatever. You know, you'll be better off if you was Roger Goodell, commissioner of the NFL, or federal judge Mark Fuller, you know, Alabama federal judge, or a police officer, you know, killing young unarmed people. You know, you'd be better off being him than being us. You know, and you know, and for those that want to be like, you know, this ain't just got to do, you know, man, he always talking about race, he always talking about white folks shit. It's really the truth. You know, as much as I love white people, but you got to take accountability for the bullshit. I mean, you know, they changed the whole league drug policy, and when Wes Welker gets popped for Molly. Come on, bro. Let's be real, dog. You know, it's just amazing. You know, so I just wanted to break some of that down for y'all, man. You know, I don't know if y'all caught it like that. You know, this is for he who has ears to hear. Let him hear. God bless, man. Y'all be safe. I love you so much.